When I tell people I moved to Ghana, sometimes I'm met with very weird faces like, girl, why would you want to move there? And it still shocks me because there's so much to the world that is just very enjoyable.
From what I heard was it was a big influx of us going to Ghana. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, it's already saturated. So I said, well, okay, I'm going to go to Nairobi and check that out.
You want to move to build a business for yourself. You want to move to invest for yourself. You're not moving to invest in the country. You're not moving to invest in the community there. You're moving to invest for yourself.
1 whole year. That is how long it has been since I moved from the US to Uganda, Africa, like a whole year.
Moving back to Ghana over 20 years ago was one of the biggest blessings that I've had in my entire life. And if you had told me this over 20 years ago, I would not have believed you. I would have laughed in your face and said, yeah, right. But moving from the US back to Ghana has been the best decision my parents have ever made. As somebody who was born in the US and moved back to Africa, but came back to the US for school and I work here, I always know that there's going to be a home for me. And I feel like this is something that I want for so many more Africans in the diaspora to experience, because America is not the end all be all. And I know it's easier said than done, especially if you have family that's back in the motherland, but hear me out. The same way our parents came here to this country in America or somewhere in Europe or wherever to get a better life for themselves outside of Africa, to make money to send back home, is the same thing that you can do to go back to Africa. The advantage that Africans in the diaspora have is that you have a more powerful currency that you can bring back home. And it will come with its challenges. Moving anywhere comes with its challenges. It's not always going to be smooth sailing or easy, but it's the first step into getting your own freedom. Freedom looks like not having to go into work every day, clocking in, hating your boss. Freedom looks like knowing that there's a place that you can always call home and not having to be looked at funny everywhere you go because of the color of your skin. Freedom looks like more organic fruits, foods, vegetables, live foods that you can eat that don't make you feel sick every time you eat them. Freedom looks like a slower pace of life where you can relax and enjoy the small things as we came here to do. And the reason I make this video is because I have seen a general movement of African Americans in the diaspora trying to find a home outside of the US. And this is not an easy feat, and understandably so. Where should we go next? Where do you want to move to? It may be Ghana, it may not be Ghana. It may be somewhere else completely different. Wherever you feel like home is where you should choose. But the first step is understanding where you feel comfortable, where do you feel loved, where do you feel valued. I promise you, life is so much more than trying to increase shareholder value or taking 14 days of PTO and calling that a vacation. There are places outside of the US, there are places outside of Europe that are waiting for you to explore, to discover, and to call a new home. You just have to take the first step.
I tell people I moved to Ghana, sometimes I'm met with very weird faces like, girl, why would you want to move there? And it still shocks me because there's so much to the world that is just very enjoyable. One of the best things that I really enjoy about Ghana is I can live in the best of both worlds. Like, where in the States can you tell your Uber driver, hey, can you pull over real quick so I can get some fresh coconut? Yeah, that's not happening. And then right after, you pull up to your matcha spot. That's all the vibes and all the aesthetics. Oh, and if you're new here, I'm Jam. I moved to Ghana in 2025 after coming for a friend's wedding and decided, yeah, this is home. So now I'm building and enjoying my life, and I'm teaching others how to get remote jobs so they can do the same thing for themselves. But y'all, can y'all believe that I'm a whole mom living here in Ghana for months and I still don't have a boo-boo? Yeah, we're gonna change that today. I'm picking up some finds. I found a few fabrics that I was just really feeling and vibing with, and we picking up some cute things today. Y'all, I truly love traditional print because there's just so many different patterns and it just always looks so good, and they're gonna hit every time. Y'all, I look so good in this stuff. Like, do you hear me? Do you feel me? Back to the culture. Part of the reason why I share my experiences online is because there is so much of the world that we really have no clue about, and I really want us as a diaspora to just be more connected and understand that there are truly lived experiences that are enjoyable and still as worthy outside of the States. So I say all that to say that, man, this is always becoming a love letter to Ghana. Like, what is happening, y'all? Anywho, I'm very intentional about how I'm going into this new year, and I hope you guys are the same as well. As always, I'm sending love to whoever needs it. Love you guys. Mwah.
From what I heard was it was a big influx of us going to Ghana. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, it's already saturated. So I said, well, okay, I'm going to go to Nairobi and check that out. When I found out that I could get an apartment for $270, I'm like, sign me up. The quality of life. I heard that the Kenyans are welcoming. The weather. The average weather is what, 73, 75 degrees? and the language. I didn't have to learn a new language. And I heard they had good health care. So, yeah.
That's because of the economy. I'm not gonna send her the money until everything is done. I didn't want to be connected to what enslaved us. I wanted to be free. And we're from the continent. Africa is our home. So for me to be able to have the freedom to choose where I want to live is freedom for me. Social media has opened up a world of information to Americans. Now they understand they have options. And Africa may be an option. I'm speaking to black people, but really this could be applicable to anybody. And I'm saying this at a time where a lot of Americans are starting to think about leaving America. A lot already have, but especially right now, more people are starting to think about leaving. And I am begging you to leave capitalism here. America isn't just bad because of racism. I know that racism might be the thing that you feel the most tangibly. Racism is an arm of capitalism, which came from colonialism. Leave capitalism here. If you're leaving, leave to start new. I'm specifically looking at African Americans who are moving to African countries. And I'm just seeing colonists. We've got to understand what it is. We've got to call a spade a spade. It doesn't make you better because you're black. We cannot just move in droves with no desire to connect to the countries we're moving to, just with the purpose to extract, just build for ourselves. You want to move to build a business for yourself. You want to move to invest for yourself. You're not moving to invest in the country. You're not moving to invest in the community there. You're moving to invest for yourself. What do we call that? We see that on a domestic level in the United States. I just moved back to Atlanta. I grew up around Atlanta. I'd always wanted to come back, and I came back to find that, like, the culture is being sucked out of here. Don't even get me started on the economy. I mean, people move here with no care about what was here before at all. And I know y'all have had to see that in other parts of America. So I'm not understanding how you can move to these other countries and do the same thing. Like, I'm already seeing videos about all this dissent from Ghanaians and Kenyans who are talking about how the American migrants there have, like, caused the economy to jump ×4. I need us to be critical. Okay, this has to be bigger than you. Like, this has to be building a better world. Like, you can only aspire to be what the colonizers were. You can't think outside of that. You can't aspire bigger to that. And look, honestly, imagining a new world is hard. But I promise you, the countries that you move to, somebody's thought about it. Plug into what's there. Please, if you're looking at migrate with intention, and with the intention to connect to the community there. Instead of asking, like, what business can I start? What needs to be done there? Like, how can you bring your skills? Don't just become a new extractor. I can't get down with that. I don't want to be grouped in with y'all. Come on. And then it's like that road leads to nowhere. Capitalism eats itself. In the United States, we're witnessing late stage capitalism. That's what we're leaving. So you want to just go and create the whole cycle? You want to just go start the cycle in a whole new country? And it's okay because you look like them?
One whole year. That is how long it has been since I moved from the US to Uganda, Africa. Like a whole year. So your girl can tell you the 411 of, like, planning your move from America or any other country, and if you want to experience living in the motherland, right? So I'll say this off the rip, like, I still 100% stand by my decision to move here. I absolutely love living here, but, right, there is a but. If you are someone that, is not open-minded, this journey is not for you. If you are someone that cannot pivot, like, this journey is not for you. If you're someone that gets stressed out easily about inconveniences, this journey is not for you, okay? If you're someone that requires a lot to be happy, this journey is not for you. And I'll break those down by saying, like, obviously you're moving from a quote unquote developed country to a developing country, so a lot of your things that you've gotten used to there are not here, but they're different things that replace those things in a beautiful way, right? So you have to program that into your mind that you're going to be giving something up in order to gain something else, right? So first thing that I would say is customer service, right? Customer service is a big thing in the West. Here in Uganda, not so much, you know, and it's been something that I had to like get used to, because customer service is something that is like so ingrained in me. Like, I'm Jamaican, so even in my country, like, customer service is not the best, but we're hospitable, right? It's been interesting trying to like learn Ugandan dialects and also understand what they mean when they are talking to you, because off the rip it comes off like, what did you just say to me, right? And it takes a minute to get used to. Let me give you an example. When the utility person comes to my house to like tell me that my water bill is due, or like something happens and he has to come to my house to tell me that I owe for my water, he literally comes and says to me, I'm demanding you to pay me XYZ. Who says that? Like, who says that? So then I'm looking at him like, what do you mean you're demanding me? Like, what does that mean? And he's like, yes, madam, I'm demanding you. I'm like, what? So for me, that was an adjustment. I was very confused. I was just like, you can't come to my house and talk to me like that. If you are requesting that I need to clear my bill, you need to come and be like, hello, good morning, I'm requesting that you clear your bill because it is due. You don't come to me and be like, I'm demanding you, right? So those things took me a minute to get used to, because I was not used to someone speaking to me like that, right? But I've been here a year, so now I'm used to it, and when someone says it to me, it doesn't come off as an offense. Like, I understand what is it that they're saying. But in the beginning, your girl was ready to fight. Your girl was ready to fight, because who are you talking to like that? Who are you talking to like that? So those things, like cultures, mannerisms, and stuff like that, you have to be ready and willing to learn a complete different culture. Like, you cannot come with the mindset that, oh, I'm used to living in the Western world and I'm used to these things and I'm not going to adjust to anything else, because you're going to be uncomfortable. But if you have the mindset that, okay, I am coming into a different culture and I'm open and I'm willing to learn said culture, then you'll be fine. But you truly have to have patience and you have to be willing to learn, because you're coming into a complete different culture from what you're used to, and everything is different. Mannerisms, greetings, like everything. So you have to be open to learning. You can't just think that you're gonna like pick yourself up from America, come to any African country, and it's just gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same. So you have to be open and willing to learn. If you're open and willing, then it's a vibe. You'll have a good time. But for me, that was something that threw me off, because I was like, who are you talking to? But a year later, someone comes to my house and be like, madam, I'm demanding you. I'm like, okay, how much do I owe? But in the beginning, someone said that to me, I was instantly like, what? So first, that's my first rant. Stay tuned, more to come. Bye. I think this is like a 5-minute video. Sorry guys.
I get asked all the time, why would you leave the USA to come to Africa, or specifically Namibia, if it's a Namibian asking? I realize a lot of people don't know the experience of what a Black American looks like. But the first answer is, it's spiritual. This is the land that my ancestors are from. I am from African ancestry. And this is where I believe I belong. My ancestors came from here. They didn't come because they wanted to be in America. They came because they were taken as captives, prisoners of war. And that is a different thing than if they had decided, if my ancestors said, I love America, I love this land, I want to go there. Maybe that's a different thing. Maybe I'd have a different spirit about it. But at this point, I felt a deep spiritual call, and my husband as well. We felt a deep spiritual call to be in this land. And it was a spiritual call we could not deny for any conveniences that we might have had in the States. So we achieved the American dream in the States. We worked very hard. We both came from families that were hardworking people that had to work from the bottom to the, to get to college and to achieve our dreams. And then we were able to save up enough money to be able to make this move, which is expensive and risky. And it takes a lot of money to do that. But we achieved the American dream, and we took our American dream dollars and brought them to Africa to reinvest here. And that means a lot to us. And again, that's a very spiritual thing to do. And for those who don't really understand what it meant to be a Black American, I mean, it's very tough to tell that story in a TikTok. But America in and of itself is not the place it's propagandized to be. It's a place with a lot of challenges and problems. There's a lot of poverty in America. People in America are poor. They live on the concrete on the street, and it's illegal to live on the street. So they can be arrested for sleeping on the street. There are a lot of shootings and things like that. There's a lot of death that we witness to the point that we're desensitized to it. I remember taking my husband to my hometown, and we went to go visit my aunt. And across the street from my aunt, there was a clear crime scene. And I asked my aunt what happened. She's like, "Hey, baby, I'm so glad to see you guys. But good to see you too. But what happened across the street?" She said, "Oh, I think a little kid was killed. But I got some food for you." And I'm like, "Okay." We just kind of had to ignore it. And the whole time we're looking at each other like, there was a murder across the street. They're still sweeping it up. And she's just like, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in years. I miss you." And I'm like, okay, this is America. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's all of the above. It's wealth, and it's extreme poverty, and it's murder. I remember going, I was hosting an event, and that morning I had to run. I was trying to rush to go get some sodas and stuff from Walmart. And there had been these news stories about this Walmart shooter. And I remember seeing the stories, but I was like, I still got to go to the grocery store. So I got up that morning to go to Walmart. And then I'm behind this car, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm so mad because I'm rushing. The police are pulling somebody over. And there's so many police I can't even get around it or something or anything. And then it turns out they open the trunk, and there's a bunch of big guns in the back of the car. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm behind the Walmart shooter on the way to Walmart. We were both on the way to the same store at the same time. Oh my gosh. That's life in America. That was life in Colorado, the birthplace of school shootings. And again, America has both of the things. It has beautiful things. It has places that are as beautiful as this, what I'm in right now. And it has places as dark as what you would think hell might look like. They literally have places named after hell in America. Rightly so, because they're dark places. So it goes it goes every direction in that country. So there's no one America. There's no one American experience. There's really no one Black American experience. So I say all that to just say, what you believe America is may not be accurate, and that is part of the reason people can't even believe why anybody would want to leave. Why would you want to leave the USA? It's got to be the best place ever, and it's not necessarily the best place ever. And then people that don't know about Africa will say, why would you go to Africa? It's not a great place. Like, why? It's in poverty. It's a third world country. And I'm like, Africa has many countries, and it's not a third world continent. And even the third world has some amazing features and beauty and beautiful people and culture. And being third world, which is a very old concept, just means not like what you knew, not industrialized the way you knew it. Poverty exists just like it is in America. I have fed people on the street in America. I have seen starving children in America. And so I know that it exists in both places. So, I'm not trying to minimize anything. I'm just trying to remind people that haven't been to Africa that there are many, many parts of Africa. There are many, many experiences in Africa, just like in the States. So just like in the States, you can be in poverty in the United States, have very little, live in a dilapidated house. You can in Africa live in poverty in a dilapidated house and scrimp and scrounge for food. You can also be very wealthy and live in a giant house and have an abundance of everything that you'd ever want living in Africa, and for a lot cheaper than you can get it in America. Just saying, So the experiences that we're talking about, there's diverse experiences everywhere. So don't discount, the experience of a person and what guides and leads them. I'm guided by spirit. And so my guidance is in here, and my guidance tells me this is the place I need to be. This is my home, and I'm happy to be home.
It's morning time here in Africa, and I can't believe I did it, y'all. Can't believe that I moved to Africa with my kids to better not only my own life, but it's a better life for my children. Everybody has their own definition of being rich. And I would tell people all the time after time, I'm rich. And no, rich is not being financially rich. I'm rich because I did a lot of things that my family couldn't do. I'm breaking generational curses. And that's what makes me rich. I'm rich because I was able to give my kids a life and do things with my children that I never got a chance to do. My family wouldn't even think about bringing me here to Africa. And me, I'm doing things that my mom, my family has never did before. So when people say that you're rich, to me, being rich is being able to do and break those generational curses that has been holding your family back for so long. Here I am, roaming the streets of Africa by myself. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's trying to cause harm to me. You can't be afraid to make those moves. You can't be afraid of the what ifs. That's what's always going to hold you back. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell that is, a bird or something, I don't know. When I tell you I'm rich, I don't mean financially rich. I got my freedom back. Something that America has taken from us. I got it back. I'm connected again right here with my ancestors. I'm connected right with my ancestors. I'm rich. Stop letting fear hold you back from doing what you were supposed to do a long time ago.
The best decision I made, moving to Africa. Oh, they live in mud huts in Africa. For the ignorant, do my house look like a mud hut? For all my family who want to invest in Africa, come on over. Best move I made. Separation for me. I don't have to live under Mzungus. Build my own, like Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X said. Tanzania, East Africa, Dar es Salaam. See? This is what life about. In your ancestral land. Y'all better come home to Mother Africa. No racism, no stress. Chilling on my patio, looking at the palm trees, having a nice sip. This is what life about, baby. Let that America go.